Season 42, War number 5, and we are up against Jedi Assassins. This time my team will be Tigra, Valkyrie and Future Ant-Man. I will be taking Path 5 in Section 1, as well as the Jabari Panther on the shared fight. And then on the Section 2 I will be taking Path 8, as well as that Rintrah and Hulkling along the way. And as for the boss island, I will be taking all the right side mini-bosses. I will not be attempting the boss this time at least. We're gonna be sending a Kitty Pride for that, because she works great and I couldn't really fit her in my team, so we've got a rank 5 Kitty covering that one. Up first we have an Adam Warlock on the Ebb and Flow knockdown and right back at it nodes. I'm taking this fight with Valkyrie, and the game plan is to build up at least one bulwark buff to make Valkyrie immune to stun debuffs, and then just ramp up the PRSs as usual, get the special to knock him down with a heavy attack to remove the protection, and then hopefully nuke him down before he has the chance to trigger his pod at all. But in case he does trigger the pod, having the bulwark buff active means that I can really hit into him and he will not be able to stun Valkyrie, meaning there is no threat with the pod at all. Now, usually when Adam is in the pod, he doesn't react to any hits, but due to Valkyrie's ability to completely bypass all unstoppable effects, she bypasses that as well, and that causes some weird visual effects with the pod, which we are gonna be seeing here in just a little bit. He's triggering the pod, he entered it, and now Valkyrie just hits through it and the pod just disappears. But Valkyrie is not stunned, because the stun there is a debuff, so Valkyrie is one of the better options for him. Now here I noticed that baiting his special 2 and hitting into him afterwards was not such a great idea, because he started healing up when I did that, so instead I just don't hit him, wait it out, and then just go ahead, a few more blocked hits, and down he goes. Fight took a minute and a half, Valkyrie is at full health, Adam is not that bad to fight against, especially if you have someone to counter either the pod or someone to simply just nuke him down before he can do anything annoying. Next up we have a Nick Fury on the Ebb and Flow knockdown and heavy hitter nodes, and once again I will be taking this fight with Valkyrie. Game plan here is to build up my buffs, get to that special to knock him down with the heavy attack to remove the protection, then nuke down the first life with that special 2 cycle, and then for the second life basically just do the same thing again without really needing to worry about ramping up the bulwarks, because he's gonna be melting himself down to 30%, so you don't need the max damage output from your special 2 or the Fury passive afterwards. So this fight is fairly simple. It is gonna take a while, but all of Nick Fury's annoying abilities will be dealt with for the most part by simply hitting into his block. Since I don't hit him directly, he's not stacking up any of those tactical charges, and the only way he's gonna get them is by throwing his special once. And since the blocked hits only give him a tiny bit of power at a time, he's not gonna be able to throw too many of them to go unblockable, for example. At least not in his first life, when the tactical charges will expire, since he doesn't have a Fury buff or a passive on him. Now I almost have all my buffs ready to go, so I bait the special 1, go ahead and get the final bulwark buff there, and now all I need to do is just land a parry, throw the heavy, and now the damage output with the passive Fury from both the Ebb and Flow node as well as the special 2 allowed me to completely nuke him down. Now one thing to note here is that when I threw my heavy attack, I converted all my Pierce and Bulwark buffs into passives, which started falling off quite quickly. But those remain paused as long as the special 2 Fury is active, and during that time you can also get new buffs by simply managing your combo once again. So before the passives expired completely, I was able to get another Pierce buff, meaning there was 0 downtime on the unstoppable counter, and I got the full benefits, of the more potent passive effects for my special 2. So I would argue that the heavy before the special 2 in most cases is the way to go with Valkyrie if you want to be fast. Then we have a Jabari Panther on the event flow knockdown, right back at it, and aggression prowess, and I'm taking this fight with Future Ant-Man simply because he's a tactic attacker, meaning I can control the prowess effects on Jabari Panther here. Now, I didn't really have a rotation in mind going in here. I was kinda planning on getting at least one disintegration debuff active before my special 2, but I kinda forgot about right back at it, eating it up here, so didn't get any benefits from that. It did remove the event for protection, so that was nice, but now my special 2 did not line up with the power detonation, meaning I didn't get any burst damage from it if I had thrown it. So had to wait that out. Meanwhile, the protection just came back before the special 2. So overall I just completely mistimed basically everything in this fight, but it still went down pretty quickly without any real issues. I did make a small mistake and I got clipped, but Future Ant-Man is a tank, so no worries there. On to the next fight. Here we have a Rintrah on the Hazard Shift Shock and Bleed node as well as the Conflictor node, and I'm taking this fight with Valkyrie, and the game plan here is the same as against basically any other champion on Hazard Shift nodes with Valkyrie. I'm only gonna be hitting the opponent's block. I will be building up both the Pierce and the Bulwark buffs, and then just dropping a big special 2 into their block, which either will finish them off or at least get them very close to it, after which a combo or 2 into the block should finish the job. Now I did take a small risk here before going in by not healing up to full, but I did that intentionally due to the Crumbling Armor node healing me up with willpower throughout the whole fight, so instead of wasting a potion or 2, I figured this would be the better way to go. Now, if I did get clipped at the very start of the fight and started eating hits, then I might have been in trouble, but Valkyrie's health pool is quite big, honestly, even though she is a female champion. And usually female champions in this game don't have a lot of health. But fully boosted, and Valkyrie's health pool, I was not in any risk of dying, even if I took a combo or 2 from Rintrah. The biggest risk here is getting cornered, so as long as that doesn't happen, I could take this fight at 1% and it would be fine. Now at this point I have my buffs all built up, I just gotta get to my special 2 and then throw it, and Rintrah is just gonna melt. The special 2 itself didn't quite finish him off, but a single hit into the block and down he goes. Full health finish, no potions wasted. Always feels good to save resources when you can, because Alliance War has been very expensive for me for the past very many seasons. Next up we have a Future Ant-Man on the Inevitable Power Efficiency and Opportunist node, and I'm taking this fight with Tigra. Now as far as Tigra fights go, this one is a little bit more complicated, but in the end it is not too difficult to actually do. So the main thing to keep in mind here, that even though Neutralize shuts down the nano armor up buffs, he will still be gaining passive versions of them, which act the same way essentially, meaning that once he triggers his swarm thing, I can't remember the exact name, I cannot do a combo ending attack, or I run the risk of getting stunned by him. So no full combos, I just gotta hit him with basic attacks to push him to his special once, then punish them with my heavy attack. The spacing for that is very easy. And then just manage the power detonation correctly by using your specials before it expires, and Future Ant-Man goes down without any issues. His heavy attack is not really something that I would recommend trying to punish, because it is very quick and it doesn't grant him any distance, so if you try to punish his heavy, you will most likely get caught by him recovering too quickly from it. So getting the special ones is the way to go there. Next Next up we have a Galan on the inevitable power efficiency and Rintrah node. I'm taking this fight with Tigra, and this one is very simple. I start off by throwing a few full combos to push him to his special 1. I bait it and punish it with my heavy attack, which then pushes me to a special 2. And then I just throw it, get enough power to get to a special 1, chain it in, and the fight is over. Having the advanced power boost active for these fights makes them very quick, but they are not needed. That being said, Tigra being so fast means that she can take a bunch of these fights with a single 3-minute boost, so might as well have it on if it is available, and like we see here, it is very helpful. Now next up here we have a Hulkling on the one eye open and make a stand node. Once again, the plan is to just get a neutralize on the opponent, then bait and punish a heavy attack from him, and this removes the make a stand protection. I get to my special 2 due to the advanced power boost. Throw the special 2, Hulkling is below 30%, I got enough power to a special 1, chain it in, fight is over, quick and easy, no real issues there. And then I still have the advanced power boost active, just barely, so this next fight is a Gorr on the safeguard miniboss node. I was just running out of the boost, I have around 10 seconds of it left at this point, so I didn't have time to check the nodes here, but it is the safeguard miniboss node, and I just got in time and still had the boost active. So the plan here, start with a couple full combos, get to my special 2, throw it. Unfortunately I didn't have any ruptures on the opponent beforehand, so the special 2 damage wasn't quite as high as it should be, but that's fine. I bait a special 1, punish it with my heavy, bait another special 1, punish it with my heavy as well, throw another special 2, and the fight is over. Tigra just melted 4 fights with a single advanced power boost, and she is still at almost full health. She is so good for Alliance War, and well, in general as well. So next up we have a Bishop on the Polka Dot Power and Stunning Affliction miniboss node. I'm taking this fight with Future Ant-Man, and this time I am not using an advanced power boost, simply because it is not needed for this. You don't have to throw a single special to take this node, the fight is very easy, and ideally the opponent never throws their own special. So I'm just gonna be throwing 4-hit combos, then holding my block to bait a heavy attack, and then just repeating over and over again until the opponent goes down. Now there is still a way to start gaining power here even without throwing the special 1, by waiting for the power detonation to trigger, then waiting it out without allowing the opponent to throw a special. That also triggers a disintegration debuff on the opponent, which is a damaging debuff, so once that is on, you will start gaining power from Polka Dot Power. But as we see here, that's not needed at all. You're probably not gonna get to a special 2 anyways, even with that active, before the opponent falls, and yeah, the fight is just very simple, very safe. Unfortunately he decided to throw a special 1 there, but as we see here, Future Ant-Man's Awakened ability is putting in a lot of work by reducing the incinerate duration by 90% and giving me those self-repair buffs to heal up some of the chip damage. That regen scales with missing health, so the higher your health is, the less you heal, that's why the numbers were so low. But if for some reason I was at very low health, those regens would have been amazing to have. Then we have the final fight of this war, a Korg on the Brute Force miniboss node, and I'm taking the fight with Future Ant-Man, mainly just to counter the defense tactic. The game plan is to get to my special 2s, throw them while the power detonation is active, preferably while the rock shield is down so that doesn't reduce the damage, and that's all there is to it. I will not be parrying him at all, because I don't want to get disoriented by the node, and instead, to get most of my openings, I hold my block to wait for the opponent to charge their heavy attack, and then I interrupt their heavy charge by throwing a light attack. It's an excellent way to get around Korg's rock shield, because the rock thorns don't trigger on light attacks. You can use this with basically any champion against Korg to get your openings freely and safely, without worrying about taking the chip damage, which is extremely useful, especially in content like BGs. Basically what I do is I hold my block and start spamming light attacks, and as soon as the opponent starts their heavy charge, I will release my block, and since I'm already spamming the light attack input, I simply throw the light attack immediately before the opponent's heavy attack has a chance to land, giving you the free opening. I never see anyone use that. I've been practicing it quite a lot lately, and it is extremely useful. As for the results, we did end up winning the war 4-3, and my BG actually got their first donut this season, so hopefully this trend continues.